Now let's bring in constitutional attorney Andrew Lieb, one of our go-to voices as we've been following these developments in the past few months. Andrew, we love having you in because of your legal acumen. 7 counts. This is what we're hearing from reporting from the New York Times. 7 counts: mishandling of classified documents, obstruction of the investigation, violation of the Espionage Act. What do you make of these charges so far?
I'm blown away, Christian, really just blown away. And not that they're wrong charges, but the magnitude that a former president is going to be in the Southern District of Florida. In Florida, in Miami, he's going to be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock facing with 7 counts. But you said Espionage Act. We're not talking about just documents and this and that. Espionage Act. The magnitude can't be overstated. This moment is numbing, whether you're the most liberal Democrat or the most conservative Republican. This is a major moment that you should all remember for the rest of your life.
Well, one Republican, Kevin McCarthy, is speaking out right now. He tweeted this, Andrew: "Today is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. It's unconscionable for a president to indict the leading candidate opposing him. Joe Biden kept classified documents for decades. I and every American who believes in the rule of law stand with President Trump against this grave injustice. House Republicans will hold the brazen weaponization of power accountable." So I hear you saying, you know, my fellow Americans, everyone should be outraged. But they're outraged for very different reasons. Do they legally have cause to be?
I think everyone has a cause to be outraged because outrage is an illegal topic. I think it's a momentous day, whether you're outraged and think that we're having one political party go after another political party, or you think finally no one's above the law and a former president's be indicted. Let me remind Speaker McCarthy, though, that at some point in the future, the Republicans are going to be in charge of the DOJ. And this is setting up a precedent that any person who runs for office better be squeaky clean, because they're going to be charged if they're not squeaky clean. So I'm betting that Jack Smith has the goods on it.
In politics, that's a high bar, huh? Okay.
Dina, I want to come back to you. Already, we've heard a good bit from former President Trump. He's already kind of laid out his defense. He's speaking out against these charges. Does this help his case at all?
I think absolutely. It keeps him front and center in the news, which this is now becoming a rather crowded Republican nomination field. And so it always helps him to be in the news. And again, fundraising as well. I think he's already sent out an email fundraising off of this. So, you know, in terms of his political ability within the Republican Party, I think it helps him. If he were to get the nominee, it probably hurts him in a general election. But I also think that at this point, you know, his criminal charges here, I think, are rather serious. And this is probably should be more important to him than whether or not he gets a Republican nominee. But he's going to use this to his advantage for as long as possible, for sure.
Andrew, you know, I think a lot of Americans just, you know, having talked to people in the heart of the country and just asking them what do they think, people are torn in many cases, feeling like, I want the rule of law to stand up. I also don't want to fear that if somebody is unorthodox or an enemy of somebody, that they are going to, you know, come under investigation. We saw allegations of that with the IRS and some Democrats and things like that, you know. So, I mean, how do people weigh those things right now as they try to make sense of where they stand?
Chance, I think you're speaking to America right now. I feel those ways. I think everyone feels that way. Now, you're going to emphasize whichever tribe you're in, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, of which side you feel. But at the end of the day, we do want the rule of law, but we don't want people being politically targeted. Those are two valid statements. At the end of the day, though, the question is, does Jack Smith have the goods? If Jack Smith wins this case, if the DOJ cleans house with Trump, guilty, 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 the rule of law wins. If Jack Smith gets torn apart, suppression motions, dismissals, he gets acquitted. If Trump gets acquitted, it's a political witch hunt. Jack Smith better deliver, or the foundation of our republic is going to be torn apart.
Ooh.
Andrew Lieb, Dina Dahl, we'd love for you all to hang on for just a moment, but right now we want to